Hey there, TJ here, and today we're gonna be reacting 6 pro chefs making the ultimate nachos from this series called Test Kitchen Talks by Bon Appetit. And yeah, as you know, I really love nachos, and especially I love cheese. So yeah, today I don't sadly don't have nachos with me. That's sad, but I do have a grilled cheese sandwich that I'll be eating along while while taking a look at this and seeing I guess determining which nachos I like the most, and which nachos you like the most by commenting down in the comment section below. But yeah, if you like these types of videos, like this type of formats, while I eat while checking out some stuff, make sure to drop me a like to let me know. And yeah, subscribe to this channel to help me a lot. And also make sure to check out my live streams, because over there is where I do this stuff live, and you can, I guess, take a first peek at it. But without further ado, let's get right into the video.
Oh my god. Oh. Today we're in the test kitchen making nachos.
They make the perfect snack, they can make the perfect meal.
There should be full coverage, cheese everywhere.
I've used leftovers of all sorts.
And you can also find like really gourmet nachos with ingredients that took hours to make.
It's kind of a big mess, but it is a good mess. When I'm eating nachos, I want something like quick and fast and easy. My version of nachos today are gonna have a nice robust corn chip layer on the bottom, and then I'm going to make a creamy kind of chipotle spiced chicken. Rotisserie chicken is very underrated. It's so versatile. You have all of these like crispy, delicious like bits that add so much flavor to your end result no matter what you use it for. I'm going to start making the chipotle chicken,
so there you
using
go.
cream in the chicken, add some like flavor and creaminess. So I'm going to add chipotle adobo. It has this like smoky, spicy depth to it, which is going to go great with the chicken. Chicken skin is super delicious. It has flavor, it's salty, and it's going to add gelatinous texture to the whole mix. So we're keeping it, don't waste it. I'm not cooking the chicken, I'm just heating it through.
Actually,
so
you can just roast it. I would recommend you to like roast it. The oven like really high heat.
With a little bit. Ooh. There is a good amount of heat because of the chipotle. Squeeze half a lime in this. That's just going to cut through all of the creaminess. That's really good. I'm going to start building the nachos. Just spread the tortilla chips onto a sheet pan. Because we cut the chipotles in smaller pieces, you see the little specks, they add some color. And if you get a little chipotle, it's gonna be slightly spicy. But
I think it's gonna bake it, yeah, so that makes it crispy on top.
Cheddar has good amount of like saltiness. It also has a little bit pull when it heats up. It doesn't like become crumbly. You could do queso, but I'm busy. I don't have time for queso. I'm using small black beans. Just adds like some texture. It just makes it a little bit more hearty, That is good to go in the oven. I'm gonna make it at 450 for about 10 minutes. You can see that the edges have turned very slightly brown and the cheese is starting to like crisp up. You have a lot of creamy gooiness happening in the nachos, and then you top with fresh onions and cilantro and jalapeno. That adds a burst of crunchy freshness and heat and sweetness. And then I'm using El Yucateco as my hot sauce of choice. It's a Mexican hot sauce, perfectly vinegary, good amount of heat, just so good. Lime, because acid makes everything better. And there you have it, a beautiful big tray of chipotle chicken nachos. I think it's the ultimate comfort food. Ooh.
That's really good.
Okay.
There's some crispy nachos on top as well.
This is the greatest party food of all times.
One thing that I love to do is make my own refried beans. Beans, cheese, plus the chips, like that is the basic structure of the nacho. And then whatever else I might do on any given day is just gravy. First things first, onion just provides like a great base layer of flavor. Throw in some sliced garlic.
Don't advertise on Google Ads or Facebook before blocking click fraud with Clixies. Not a fun fact. 1 out of every 4.
Let's talk about spices. Fennel seed, I really like. As long as you're gonna use whole fennel seed, why not use whole coriander? Same thing with cumin seed. A mortar and pestle or a spice mill becomes essential. This is like, honestly, like way bigger than what I have. Okay, a little bit of smoked paprika and then sweet paprika. So see how much color that paprika is adding
That's so
there?
good.
It's almost like I added tomato paste. It's just gonna deepen the color, the flavor of the beans. These are small red beans. It's a slightly smaller bean, similar to a pinto. And at this point, I'm gonna add some water. So I'll BRB. Let this simmer just for a few minutes, just to let those flavors meld. Wasn't shy with the oil, and it's great. It's nice to be generous with the fat. Butter adds just phenomenal richness. Like, listen,
I mean,
these are
since
good.
the beans
Nothing
don't have
wrong with
like,
this. But by incorporating some extra
fat, I guess.
we're just gonna, I'm like, my brain is just like, don't say kick it up a notch. Don't say kick it up a notch. We're gonna kick it up a fucking notch or two. So I'm just gonna let these thicken up slightly more, but we're looking really good here. Listen, you can use any kind of cheese. I prefer shredding cheese myself. You can combine different proportions, different cheeses, make a custom blend. Monterey Jack being high moisture, easy to melt. Cheddar being better on flavor, not as happy about being melted. You can make your own pickled jalapenos so easily. Jalapenos, little seasoned rice vinegar, pinch of salt. It's got a great balanced flavor. That'll just sit until we're ready to use them. So I left these beans like a little bit saucy. The chips are gonna pull a little moisture from them. They're gonna dry out a little bit just in the heat of the oven. And I ultimately want like good coverage on these chips. I'd love to get 3 layers on
Water?
You know,
You should
I like
drink your
building
water,
them
chat.
up a little bit more towards the center here. Way like heat can kind of get to a little bit more of everything. Ultimately, we're gonna look for a little bit of light browning around the edges of the chips for the cheese to kind of be melty and oozy. Now, this is sort of the base. You need bright, fresh elements to balance. I never have sour cream at home, never. My go-to is Greek-style yogurt. That got a little splatty, it's cool. Pickled jalapenos, you know, just in 10 minutes, we absorb some of the brine. And then some kind of raw allium element, just a little bit of chopped scallion does that for me. So I grab some cilantro as well. It's just sometimes when you want it, you want it. But this I'm like really happy with. Has all the elements.
Oh, it looks so good, man.
Fine nachos, and even from here, you could customize further and make it your own. Ooh. Yeah, that's good. This is not gonna be cute. Yeah, I'm just loving the balance of textures, balance of flavors. The fact that you're not just tasting a mouthful of chips, like you're getting like great toppings in every single bite. These beans like truly can kind of stand up to the nacho treatment. It just helps define the dish.
I am making chili cheese fries nachos based on the format of chili cheese fries, but on top of chips. So the base is potato chips to mimic the fries. We're gonna have crunchy, meaty, cheesy, creamy, fresh. That is exactly what, to me, is the best type of nacho. We're gonna cook just a couple slices bacon. Chili itself is not very fatty, and that's why it can handle cheese and sour cream and the things you normally put on top of chili. That's where the fat is coming from. We're gonna take the bacon out, and the fat will have rendered down, and that will be most of the cooking liquid for our onions and garlic. Made it here in this very kitchen to try it out, and my coworker Inez said that it tasted like fancy gas station in the best way, and that is the nicest thing anyone's ever said to me. So yeah, we're getting like all those bacon-y flavors cooked into the onion, which is really nice. Our chipotles and adobo, this is like if you were making pasta sauce, frying out the tomato sauce, really caramelizing it. Here, we're just using our chipotle paste as that. Now we're gonna add our pork and all of our spices.
Probably add your bacon as well, right? Why didn't you put your bacon in?
A little salt in there as well. You can definitely smell the chipotle peppers. It's like one of those things where when you put it in the pan, you can like, it like goes into your nostrils. As I say that, like goes into your nostrils right away. You don't want big hunks everywhere. You want everybody to get the love, so Now we're going to add our tomatoes and our beans. Obviously, can of beans is already cooked, but you just want to heat it through, flavor those beans with all the juices that are in this pot. And now we're just gonna let this go.
I guess like a
10-ish
chili
minutes,
cheese
trying to
nacho.
tighten up the liquid a little bit. If you want to go canned route, you can. I think it's worth it to take this one extra step, throw it all in a pot, and make your chili yourself. Our chili is nice and thick. Stir in the chopped up bacon and all that salty flavor added back. We're good to go. We're using our thicker cut kettle potato chips. Oh, there's this. Kettle chips are key here because they are thicker cut, so they still retain a bit of that structure. I like to make sure that every chip is invited to the party. Covering them as much as possible with all of your other things sort of insulates them from extra heat. They'll get crispy, but they won't get charred. Okay, and now lots of cheese. This is extra sharp white cheddar, but you could do yellow cheddar too. I think that visual reads a little bit more like chili cheese fries when it's the orange cheese, but the white cheese is good too. Wow, I was like, that's so much cheese, I'm not gonna use all of it. And the answer is yes, I did. Yes, I used all of it. This goes quick, 3 to 4 minutes broiling on high. Oh my gosh, it's already happening.
All I needed was the love you gave. All I needed for another day.
Peeking is totally fine when you have your broiler on. Okay. And now we do my favorite thing, which is add all the fresh
crispy, I
green
guess.
stuff. Scallions first.
I guess you can go a bit longer, I would say.
Thinly sliced jalapeno and some
Maybe
sour
a minute
cream.
longer.
I'm new to sour cream, so I tend to do little baby dollops. There it is.
I
These
personally
are
like more,
chili cheese
you
fries
know,
nachos. Crispy,
I guess,
toasty, meaty,
darker.
cheesy, freshness all over the top. Oh my god. Oh. Yeah, baby. Is this finger food? Yes. Is it fork food? Yes. Is it everything food? Yes. Yum. This is a great lesson in nachos can be anything and follow your dreams.
In the shower the other day, I was like, man, we gotta do this video, we gotta make nachos. I thought, oh, you know, it'd be cool if like almost like an empanada-y riff, right? Because like a ground beef, we got some raisins, maybe some olives, like that crunchy empanada shell. Different cultures have all these different little dough-wrapped fillings. Some are baked, some are fried. I like the fried ones. But the wonton, pretty close to it, okay? It's just a little wonton wrapper. You can get them in your supermarkets. And a little hot oil. We made these ourselves. They flash up quick. They fry really nicely. First things first is
that's
you can
interesting.
do this a day ahead, 2 days ahead if you wanted to, is cook your meat, get that ready. It takes about a half an hour to cook on the stovetop. So we want to start that first. 1 yellow onion. I'm not really looking for an insane amount of color or anything here. I just want to get all the moisture out of the onion, getting them a little translucent, getting them a little sweet. Just sweat it out, you know? We're taking out the onions because I got to brown the meat and the onions would burn. Little classic beef. I usually make this a day, even 2 days ahead. Not only for time and convenience, but in my opinion and many others, it just gets better. Kind of like a burger, I like to get that first flat nice and get some brown on it, and then you chop it up, move it around. You don't want big chunks of meat. I mean, it's gonna break down as we cook. All right, now I'm gonna add the onions.
It's kind of like
back.
chopped cheese, kinda.
Smells fantastic. I'm gonna add the garlic. I like olives. I think they're gonna add a fun little texture as well as a flavor. Say about 80%, we'll add 60% of the green olives. Same with the black, okay? Green Himalayan raisins. These are gonna rehydrate a little, get real fruity in there, gonna get real delicious. They taste like a raisin. They're a little sweeter, a little more tender. They're some of my favorite raisins, and I'm not a huge raisin guy. So I've got some ground cumin.
Okay, then
Much.
you know, that shows how nice the raisins are, I guess.
Sweet smoked paprika. That's gonna give us our nice
Paprika?
bleeding red color there, and about that much. That's ground coriander. The other one was ground cumin. All them colors, flavors, getting real happy together. I don't even want to make nachos no more. I just want to put this over rice.
Oh, that would be pretty
You know,
nice.
At this point, it's just a simmer game. You don't want this like boiling away.
You put broth.
Super rapid, but
I
if you want
suggest
it
beef
cooked,
broth, in my opinion.
stock. You can use seltzer. You can use pineapple juice. You can use milk. You can use water.
Milk? No, don't use milk.
Whatever you want. But I like water.
Hey, don't use mayonnaise.
Don't ever use watered down mayonnaise. That sounds disgusting. A little bit of moisture's gonna get out. I
yeah.
don't like to do it too fast because you do want that meat to get nice and tender. So our meat is all cooked down, tender, not real soupy. So let's build. Fried
don't need to be
wonton
too
chips. You know,
wet.
just a little different, little riff on the old corn chip. Then I'm gonna hit it with a little rice. Very unnecessary as far as nutritional methods go on this, but you know, this ain't no diet meal. It just seemed like the right thing to do. I'm in the world of just little
Kinda
scatterings.
weird.
I don't like it to be a big mess.
Kinda
I
weird
guess
to
what I'm
have
trying
rice,
We'll
but
do a little
okay.
cheddar. No, I have no problem with pre-grated cheddar cheese or mozzarella for that matter. Black beans. These are just canned.
Tillamook cheese.
Yeah. I mean, it's just like a real crumbly, dry.
Personally, I don't
salty
like Tillamook
Mexican
cheese, but,
you see
you
a
know.
lot on like tacos. A little more black olive, a little more green olive, a little raisin, little empanadas in a nacho form. And again, you can keep going with this if you want. You can make this thing this high if you really wanted to. And then we're gonna throw this in the
Yeah,
oven.
I definitely
Preheated at
like the
400
layered
degrees,
method.
And we're gonna just get it melted and toasty. Everything's cooked. We just want to basically melt that cheese. Looking nice. And we just got a little chopped cilantro here. Straight at the table. Here we go. Get involved. It's cheesy, it's beefy, it kind of smells like a taco-y empanada. Ooh, they're all good looking chips. Little twofer, not too much stuff.
Ooh, that looks good.
The rice is nice. I mean, it eats just like a nacho, but you kind of feel like you're eating a meal. It's got a little more substance to it, and I really like that in a nacho.
It's not more of a
I'll be
snack, it's
making
more of a
birria
meal.
nachos. Birria has a very special place in my heart. A couple weeks ago, I was just in Jalisco, the birthplace of birria. That's also my dad's hometown. Birria is
That's kinda nice.
spicy, juicy, garlicky, tomato-based stew. I think the elevation of the nacho really boils down to how much love, care, and time you have to spend with your ingredients. We're gonna toast our chilies. It intensifies their flavors by activating those dormant oils in it. So I have my guajillos, these are my anchos, and then these small guys are my chili de arbos. Each of these chilies is only gonna get toasted for about 15 seconds on each side. Our anchos are giving us earthy sweetness, where my guajillos are giving me a little bit more of that spice. My arbos are really giving me redness to our stew. Put them into my pot of chicken stock. While my chilies are rehydrating, I'm gonna saute my onion, my tomato. There's no need to fine chop. Really just want to get it to a size where everything can comfortably fit in your pan. Add my garlic, my bay leaves, Mexican oregano. I think that Mexican oregano is much more floral than the oregano in the States. So now that my veg is soft and my chilies are toasted and rehydrated, we're gonna blend it all up to get a marinade for our goat. For a little acidity, I'm gonna toss in some apple cider vinegar. Traditionally, birria is made with goat. This is goat shoulder. I love this piece. Whenever I have a chance to marinate something,
I've never
I'm
really
gonna do
heard
it.
much about
Even
it.
when
I've only
optional,
mainly heard about like pork butt.
one should always opt. My meat's been marinating for 24 hours. My marinade has gotten significantly thicker. So we're braising this goat. We do need to ensure that we have enough liquid in here. I'm gonna add my cinnamon stick and some ginger. There are some instances in which you would toss the marinade. Here, there's no need. You're cooking this marinade through and through. I'm gonna bring this up to a boil, and then I'm gonna put it in the oven at 350 for 2 hours or until it's completely shreddable. Fresh out of the oven, we already see rich, red, deep color. I can tell by just looking at it that it's so soft.
Day one, I'm in love with structure. Day two, I'm in love with structure. Day three, I'm in love with structure. Guess what?
So,
Oh,
there's no words. I'm running my fingers through this meat and it's shredding itself. There's very minimal effort going on. What I have left is our consomme. It is a deep red color. It is spiced. It is salty. It is delicious. It's so good it's drinkable. Blue corn tortilla chips, you can't beat the color. It's something about that purplish, deep blue hue that does it for me every time. I'm gonna take some cheddar, my manchego. These melt very well together. The manchego creaminess really does lend to the way in which it melts. Layering is so important with nachos. With every bite, I'm experiencing what I felt in that first bite all over again. Nothing sadder than a naked chip. Fresh out the oven, a little bit more cheese, some scoops of these canned refried beans, small handfuls of birria. So this guac, like look at the color of these. Eat your colors, people. Cilantro, crema over the top. And then just gonna take a little spoon and sort of just like put it right on top of there. And here are our birria nachos.
Oh, that looks good
I'm gonna
though.
dip it in our consomme.
Ooh.
Something as rich and decadent as birria being brought to something as simple as chips and cheese. Like, it's now an experience. There's so much love that goes into dishes like this, you know, where you really do take your time and it really is a process. Dipping this into the consomme, like it's just all connecting me to a greater place. It feels like a hug.
So my nachos will zero in on my favorite aspect of the nacho experience, the queso. I'm bringing the heat with gochujang, a pantry staple that I have all the time, but you can dial it up if you like it even hotter or tone down the spice. This is the queso you need to make for yourself and your loved ones. You need a heavy bottom
It is a
pot,
Korean-inspired
couple
queso.
tablespoons of butter. Just let it melt. Adding our aromatics, minced garlic. We're adding the whites of the scallions. We're reserving the greens for garnish.
Oh, that's kind of nice.
A can of
Because
these
the greens have
mild
a lot
green
of the
chilies. They are
flavor
often fire
and they stand up to
roasted, so
cooking.
it's just another layer of flavor that you don't have to do yourself. You can go like this, and the pan is dry. You're ready for the next ingredient, which is gochujang, the fermented red pepper paste. It's not just spicy, it's also sweet and it's smoky. And in this case, we're using it in place of kind of adobo sauce. Cornstarch will help stabilize the queso. Kind of like when you make garu, it's gonna look like this. The bottom gets a little starchy looking, and that's totally fine. Evaporated
want that,
milk
I would
is kind
say.
of the secret power ingredient. Oftentimes, a queso or a nacho cheese sauce will be nice and melty for maybe the first 5 minutes, and then it like quickly seizes or congeals into, you know, that like rubbery texture, and this will never do that to you. I just like to add a little bit first and deglaze, and once you get this kind of well incorporated, you can add the rest of the can. Stir
That's
everything
actually quite
until it's
smart.
well incorporated. You want it to kind of simmer and hang out, ready to receive the cheese. In goes our shredded Monterey Jack. You want to be on a low heat now.
Yeah, don't the
What are we
cheese is
looking for
split.
texture-wise? This, baby. And the beautiful thing is it will stay like this forevermore. This will be your insurance for all of your queso needs. We're going to heat up our chips just for 5 to 10 minutes to bring out their aroma, add a little bit of texture. Warm chips are the best chips. Our queso, just give it a stir. This actually reminds me of the queso you get at the movie theater, the small pack that's like warm through and you're like, they didn't give me enough. And if it goes onto the bare sheet pan, like leave it, because it will get scooped up, trust me. Let's garnish a pico de gallo or even just tomatoes that adds really nice freshness. Love a pickled jalapeno. These are just a great condiment to have in your fridge. I am a scallion fiend.
Yeah, honestly,
it's
I
my
like
number
it.
one allium.
I love
The
like pickled
greens
jalapeno, especially when
just
I
bring
go
some
like
freshness.
to like Subway.
And then cilantro, like plenty of it. If you have people in your group who don't like cilantro, I mean, they can just pick it off. No, just kidding. I guess you can not go crazy, but. So here are my nachos with spicy gochujang queso. Yeah, she's cheesy. Best eaten immediately. Still crunchy. That amount of queso is just right for this amount of chips. The texture is fantastic. The freshness from the scallions and the cilantro. Ooh, and the heat from the pickled jalapenos. All plays so well. Nachos are so customizable to your taste. Put whatever you want on them. Just make sure you have enough queso to feed you and your guests.
True.
Sometimes I even sweat bacon into this little mixture.
Bruh.
Closer for some reason.
1 in 2 Singaporean adults have
But anyways, you know, let me know what do you personally think about this video. Yeah, I think this video is pretty nice. You know, I think all of the dishes in general have their place, but yeah, you know, I don't particularly like any one of them. I know I feel like I would like all of them, but you know, let me know what is your personal favorite down in the comment section below. And if you like this video, make sure to drop me a like to let me know, and you know, also subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Make sure to check out my live streams where I usually film these videos live, and hope to see you in the next video.